There are lots of important decisions to make when buying a car. Do you need a truck for the farm or a small car for the city? How important is gas mileage to you? What color do you want? Once you decide what car you want, figuring out what you can actually afford can seem a bit complicated. Your monthly car payments might be affordable, but you also have to keep in mind other costs you'll have, like insurance payments, registration fees, and unpredictable expenses, such as a sudden hike in gas prices or the need for a big repair. So before you begin to shop around for a car, you might want to take a look at some of these costs so you're not caught off guard. First, let's figure out your budget. On average, people spend about 14 to 16% of their annual income before taxes on their transportation budget. That's a figure that includes all the expenses of owning a car, not just your car payments, but your gas, insurance, maintenance and repairs, and everything else as well. So for our example, let's use this as a guideline and look at what this might be for an annual income of $42,000. To figure out your budget, we'll take 16% of $42,000. That gives you $6,720 a year to spend on your car, or $560 a month. So let's look at the costs involved in getting a new basic subcompact sedan that has a sticker price of about $16,450. Now for any car, there are plenty of extra things you can get, like satellite radio or a sunroof, which can drive up the price. But we're going to forego the bells and whistles and stick to a basic model. And when you buy a new car, keep in mind that there are often extra fees in addition to what you pay for the car itself. You might have fees for things like documentation and destination charges for getting the vehicle from the manufacturer to the lot. Your registration fees may also be included, which can save you a trip to the DMV. Some of the fees you'll encounter, like registration, are non-negotiable because they are required by your state. But some things, like documentation fees and the base price of the car, may be flexible and open to some negotiating, depending on where you buy your car. So let's say that after negotiating the price of the car and the fees, and adding on your local taxes, you're paying $16,750 total. And in this case, you're going to finance the car entirely. That means you're not going to make any down payment or trade in another car. If you get a 6-year loan at a 3.5% interest rate, looking at an online calculator, your monthly payments will be around $260. But financing comes at a cost. In this case, you end up paying about $1,845 in interest on top of that $16,750 of principal over the course of your loan. So if you have the cash, you may consider buying the car outright. Or if you have a few thousand to spend on a down payment, you could lower your monthly payments and save in interest over time. But for this example, let's say you don't, and you've got a $260 car payment. Then there's gas. Let's say this car gets 32 miles to the gallon, and on average you drive about 1,250 miles per month. 1,250 miles divided by 32 miles per gallon gives us about 39 gallons of gas each month. If gas is around $4 per gallon, 39 times 4, we're looking at about $156 a month on gas. There's also your car insurance. Insurance prices are based on a number of factors, including where you live, your driving record, the type of car you're driving, even your job. If you're figuring this out for yourself, you might want to look at an insurance estimator, as rates can vary dramatically. Let's say you use an insurance calculator, put in your info, and see that you'll get a rate of about $100 a month. So adding our monthly car payment of $260 and an estimated gas expense of $156, plus the $100 for insurance, we already have a total of about $516 per month. Now let's look at some more periodic expenses you might have, like regular maintenance. Generally speaking, every 7,500 miles or so, it's recommended that you rotate your tires and change your oil. If you're driving 1,250 miles per month, that's about 15,000 miles per year. Divide that by 7,500 miles, and it looks like you might need to do this about twice a year. And let's say it costs you about $80 or so each time, for a total of $160 per year. Although some new cars come with a service agreement that covers some of these basic maintenance costs for the first few years. Now, going to a shop for regular maintenance can be a hassle, and you may wonder, is it worth it? Well, skipping tire maintenance and oil changes can cost you in the long run. A set of tires might last you longer if cared for properly, and a new set might cost you around $600. Not changing the oil will eventually wear out your engine, which can cost thousands to replace. So that $160 a year may be worth it over time. For the first few years, with a new car, you probably won't need to do much more maintenance than this. If you do, it might be covered by your warranty. You'll also have to re-register your car and probably get it inspected from time to time, depending on your state. This could be once a year or every few years, and can cost $45 to $300 or more. Let's say your registration and inspection will cost about $200 every 2 years, or another $100 per year. So adding $160 for maintenance and another $100 for registration and inspection, you get $260 per year. Divided by 12 months, we've got, well, about $22 per month. And if we take our previous monthly expenses, which were $516, adding 22, we've got $538. Then looking at our original budget of $560, if we subtract $538 for our monthly expenses, that leaves us with $22. So having calculated some of these costs of car ownership, we can see that this car could be inside your budget. Now, you may be thinking about that extra $22 a month. That's $264 a year. Why not accessorize? But having a little extra in your budget to cover unexpected costs is a good idea. It may come in handy if there's a sudden hike in the price of gas, or the cost of your insurance goes up. And once your warranty runs out, you'll have to pay for any repairs you might have, like replacing a headlight, or an oxygen sensor, or maybe even something bigger. So it's a good idea to keep these extra costs in mind when figuring out what you can spend. If your car payments alone put a strain on your budget, you might find yourself the owner of a car you can't afford to drive. And if a new car is too much for your budget, you might consider buying a used car, which we look at in another video.